เชื่อไปไหน
ไม่รู้
อ้าว
มาแล้วก็ไป
แล้วอย่างนี้เราจะได้เรียนไหม
เน็ตดูมั้งเดี๋ยวอีก5 นาที
เชื่อ
อาจจะกำลังมาก็ได้อาจจะเน็ตหลุดวันนี้ขั้นหน้าตัดสินเป็นอะไรก็ไม่รู้ครูสอนเร็ว
ใช่
เร็วมากแบบกว่าจะสอนก็ประมาณ13:25สอนแล้วก็สอนเสร็จก็แล้วก็ออกไวเลยอันนี้จะ
มาแล้ว
ฮัลโหลHello teacher teacher อยู่ไหม
I've been talking. I thought my microphone was on. Goodness. And I was like, hello, children. No one is answering me. And then I look at my phone. And then my microphone was off.
Hello
Thank you. Okay, so children, we're going to have waste management. And then I'm going to play now the video while waiting for the others, okay? And then later on, we're going to have some activity. Okay. This moment, I will just going to look at what will be your worksheet later on. There you go. I think this one is the easiest one. Okay, now here we go. I found a love. Okay, so children, listen carefully, and then later on I'm going to ask you a question after this one, okay? So we have here the introduction of a waste management.
Humans depend on many things from our environment to satisfy our various introduction to waste. We humans depend on many things from our environment to satisfy our various needs. And in the process of our development, we generate or produce a lot of things which are actually of no use to us, and we simply discard them. We often buy packet foods, bottled drinks, canned food, etc. But what exactly we do after having it? We throw away the wrapper or the bottles, right? And what about the leftover food or vegetables from the kitchen? Yes, even that goes into our dustbin. We discard a lot of things like the old newspaper, plastic and cardboard wrappings, broken objects, and the list just continues. We discard or throw away such things because they can no longer be of any use to us, or they might be unwanted, defective, old, or worthless. And such objects which are no longer of any use to us are called waste. This waste can be as small as a used pen to as large as an old vehicle. Also, waste to one person may not necessarily be waste to another. We normally get rid of the waste generated at homes by keeping our bins outside the house, right? But is that the end of it? No. These wastes undergo series of processes, right from its collection, segregation, transportation. Some wastes are even treated and then finally are disposed of. So let's see the various places of its origin from where the waste can be collected. Let's begin with the waste generated in our house during the various day-to-day activities, which is the domestic waste. The next one is industrial waste. This includes all the various waste generated during different industrial processes. The next one is clinical or biomedical waste. This mainly includes the waste from the hospitals, nursing homes, pathological laboratories, medical clinics, etc. Agricultural activities, which generate different waste products. Animal waste. This includes animal waste products associated with agriculture and also the waste from slaughterhouses. Nuclear waste products of the nuclear power plants includes radioactive minerals and metals. Utmost care has to be taken for this type of waste. Mineral waste. It includes heavy metal residues found around mines like lead, arsenic, cadmium, etc. These metal particles pollute the surrounding air and water. Well, friends, here we are done with collecting waste from all the various places of its origin. The next we have to do is segregate them, or say separate them. But how will we be doing that? Well, there are certain ways by which we can classify the waste. Let's look at them one by one. According to the kind or form of waste generated, we classify waste into three categories. The solid waste can be easily seen. It is generated from different types of activities like construction, industries, mining, domestic use, etc. The wastewater from our homes and the liquid chemical effluents from various industries are liquid waste. Can you all guess any type of gaseous waste? Gaseous waste includes poisonous gases from various industries. On the basis of amount of moisture present in the waste, it is of two types: wet waste and dry waste. You might have all seen those plastic containers which are mostly kept alongside the pavements, right? Another way of classification of waste is according to their effect on human health and environment. Hazardous. From the name itself, we know hazard means some kind of danger or risk, right? Hazardous wastes are those wastes that could be toxic and harmful to humans, animals, and plants as well. These wastes may catch fire very easily. They are very reactive, corrosive, and even explosive. These wastes can be from hospital, industrial, or even domestic in origin. Whereas the non-hazardous waste are the ones which does not have any harmful effect on our environment or life on earth. According to their properties, waste can be classified as biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Waste that are organic, the one which can be easily broken down by the action of microorganisms over the time, are called biodegradable waste. Whereas the non-degradable waste are the ones which cannot be broken down by microorganisms and will remain on the earth for years until we properly manage them. So friends, here we saw the various ways by which we can classify the waste. But wait a second, in which category of waste will this old television set fall under? Old television set and similar products like computers, VCRs, stereos, fax machines, etc. fall under a special category of waste called e-waste or waste electronic or electrical equipment. It is the name given for electronic products nearing the end of their useful lives. After knowing all these, aren't you guys wondering why we need to study or know about things which are just waste for us? This is because when left uncared, these wastes accumulate and cause serious health hazards. And we all know plastic degrades very slowly, which is why it is such a big problem. Moreover, many aquatic animals like whales, seal, turtles die every year from plastic bag litters as they often mistake plastic bags for their food. Similarly, many terrestrial animals like cows, dogs, and even many birds eat plastic from the dumping sites and ultimately leading to their death. Apart from causing these health hazards, they even add to different types of pollution like air, water, soil, etc. One such health hazard occurred long back in 1953 in a small city called Minamata in Japan, which had the region's largest fertilizer producing industry. The Minamata Bay present in that city was highly polluted with the wastewater released from fertilizer plant, which contained excessive amounts of mercury in it. The highly toxic compound bioaccumulated in fish and shellfish in the bay, which were eaten by the people living around the bay, which gave rise to Minamata disease. It is a toxic disorder of central nervous system. So to conclude, we saw the various sources of waste, classified them, and also saw the health hazards associated with improper waste management. So in our upcoming session, we will see the various ways by which we can reduce or treat or some ways of managing this waste. So stay tuned with Let's Tute. Make it easy. Thank you.
Okay, so children, Our lesson for today is about waste management. Okay, so we are having this lesson because the last time we studied about the problems, our environmental problems. Okay, caused by waste, caused by human activities, children. Okay, so we studied deforestation also. We studied the ozone layer depletion, where burning of plastic is not okay. And where does the plastic comes from? Comes from the domestic waste that we are using, children. What else? Okay, so we have the global warming. Global warming. We have what is the cause of the global warming? We have the car, the smoke from the car, the chlorofluorocarbon. We have what else? Smoke
Smoke
from the
from
car.
the factory.
Okay, smoke from the factories. And what else, children? We have carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Why? Why we have the carbon dioxide? Because of too much carbon dioxide that we humans and animals are producing, the lesser, because there is the deforestation, cutting down of trees. So the trees that are living here on earth cannot absorb the carbon dioxide that we are getting out. Okay, so they have to go at the atmosphere, and that's the cause of what, children? Temperature change. Okay, now we're going to move on. We're going to have the waste management. Waste management is one of the solution for the problems that we are facing right now. Okay, so anyway, what is the waste? What is waste management? Okay, now we're going back. We have here. So we have here waste. So we have different kinds of waste. Could you please give me an example of waste that you know, children? Anybody? Could you please give me an example of waste that you know, that you are aware of?
Wasting plastic.
Okay, plastics. They are example of waste. What else? We're going to have a recitation, okay? Just a moment. Plastic bottles. Okay, so plastic bottles, they are just the same. Okay, what else?
Cans.
Cans. Okay, what else?
An old computer.
Old computer. What else? Okay, so we're going to have here. So you are 27. Then those are the examples of very good, Sophia, of waste. Okay, so we're going to have here the introduction of waste. Okay, so waste, not only the things that we are using at home, but we can also, those waste can come from the factories. What else? From your school. What else? And everywhere around you. Okay, here we go. We're just going to
which are
replay.
actually of no use to us, and we simply discard them. We often buy
And
packaged
even in
foods,
our
bottled
garden.
drinks,
Okay, so these
canned
are
food.
examples of waste. Okay, so we have here the chips, the plastics from the chips, or the bottle, the can. Okay, so these are the waste money. These are the domestic waste, that anything that goes under the bin, those are waste, children, that you are using. Okay, now we're going to move on. Okay, so for vegetables also, that is a waste. Peel of banana, but it is a biodegradable waste. Okay, now we're going to move on. The newspapers, the box, the broken bottles, the broken furnitures, the can, the broken glasses that you are using, they are all waste. Anything that goes in the bin, that goes in the dumping site, they are waste, children. Okay, so waste are no more useful. They are not useful. It's unwanted. You're not going to use them. It's defective. You cannot use them. Right? It's old or worthless. Okay, so in short, you cannot use them. You must have to get rid of them. Okay, so objects. Okay, so we have here objects. Waste are objects which are no longer of any use to us. So it means you cannot use them. Maybe because they are broken, maybe because they are old already, or maybe because they are not functioning, children. So those are waste. Now we're going to move on. Okay, so here we go. So waste can be small, like pen, or just a plastic, or a crumpled paper. That's the smallest. Or you have the very, very tiny, or the broken glass. It's very tiny. So from very tiny to a very large waste we have. Okay, so we're going to move on, children. Can you follow? Can you understand me, children?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so children, now we're going to move on. Hi. There you go.
Waste to one person may not necessarily be waste to another. We normally get rid of the waste generated at homes by keeping our bins outside the house, right? But is that the end of it? No. These wastes undergo series of processes.
Okay, so children, that is only the introduction of waste that we are going to have. Now we're going to have the waste management. What does it mean? Okay, so from your house, okay, for example, from the waste from your house, the domestic waste from your house, someone we're gonna get it. Okay, so that the garbage collector we're gonna get your waste, and then they're going to segregate. Means they're going to choose those waste that can be useful, like plastic bottles. What else, children? Bottles. What else? Papers, boxes. They can be recycled. Okay, and then they're going to those who cannot use, they're going to put it in the dumping site, and then they're going to use some chemicals to I cannot find the right word. Okay, to decompose, or something that they're going to make the waste goes away. Okay, now we're going to move on. Here you go. Segregation and then the transportation. They're going to treat your waste by using chemicals. Now that's how are we going to we're going to move on, children, with the sources of waste. Where did they come from? Okay, so waste comes from, first one, the first one is the domestic waste, children. What are the domestic waste? You can see it on the picture. What are they? Anybody? Could you please give me an example of domestic waste? Anybody? I'm going to give you a recitation. We're going to have a recitation. Anybody who wants to answer? What are the domestic waste? Could you please name one or two? It's okay.
Sophia.
Sophia.
Paper.
Okay, paper. What else? Anybody?
Television.
Television. Broken.
Glass.
Broken television. What else?
Glass.
Focus one, is that you? Tell me first your nickname before you speak. What else? Focus one?
Glass.
Glass. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Sophia.
A banana skin.
A banana peel. What else? What else, children?
Sophia.
Sophia.
Some broken glasses.
Okay, some broken glasses or bottles. What else?
Sophia.
Sophia.
A box.
A box. What else?
Focus one.
Focus one.
Food.
Okay, so peel from vegetables and fruits. Okay. Next we have, okay, we're going to have one by one. A broken television, banana peel, box, a broken furniture, newspapers or papers, broken glasses, bottles, and some peelings from fruits and vegetables, and many more, children, from your home, from our home. Okay, so that is what we call domestic waste. If it comes from your home, it's called domestic waste. That's why we have domestic animal and domestic waste. Domestic animals, those who is taken care of by man and can stay at your home. So domestic waste, from domestic means from your home. So those are waste that comes from your home. Okay. Now we're going to move on. So we have here industrial waste, children. So cans, big cans. What else? Okay. So we're going to have this one. This video is very good. So we have here cans.
It's all the various waste generated during different industries.
Okay, so these are the waste coming from the industrial. Okay, so we have factories. It means from the factories, children. So we have here metals, cans, chemicals. Okay, so those are chemicals, children. Okay, so we have tires. Tires, when you're going to burn the tire from the car, this one, it is not good for the ozone layer, children. Okay, so cans, this one has chemicals inside, so they are dangerous, they are hazardous. Okay, so meaning hazardous, it means they are dangerous to our health. Femi, what are you doing?
Industrial processes.
Okay, now we're going to move on with biomedical waste. Okay, biomedical waste are those waste coming from the hospital, children. So we have here syringe, gloves. What else? Different kinds of things that they are using in the hospital. And you know what? These things are hazardous also, because this one you might caught a disease from here, children. So you see anything like this in the street, they have their own dumping site. Okay, now we're going to move on, children. No, my goodness, what's happening? Okay. Now we're going to move on, children. Now we are done with biomedical waste. You see, medicines. It's not okay. It's very dangerous. Now we're going to move on with agricultural waste. Those are waste that you can find, or some humans use in the farms, in the fields. Okay, so we have here the fertilizers. You know what? Fertilizers and insecticides in the water. If you're going to put them in the water and you're going to use them, just a moment. If you're going to put them in the river, the fishes might die, children. It's a water pollution. Okay, so we have here sacks, and this one is just chemicals, herbicides, pesticides. So you have here the fertilizers. Okay, so those are the things that comes from the agricultural waste. Now we're going to have next the animal waste. Okay, so animal waste, those are the poop of animals, children. See? And this one is from the butcher's shop. Now we're going to have the nuclear waste. Okay, nuclear comes from the things that they are using in making gun powders. This is for the usage of for the soldiers, you know. Nuclear waste. Now we're going to move on. Mineral waste. Okay, so they are the waste coming from the factories, children, from the gold mining, from the mining. Okay, now next we are finished with the sources of waste. We have domestic, industrial, agricultural, animal, biomedical, mineral, and nuclear waste. Those are the sources of waste, children. Now we're going to move on. Okay, now we're going to have, how will we separate this waste? Okay. We have the classification of waste. According to what? According to the kind, form of waste. Now we're going to have kinds of waste. We have solid waste, liquid waste, in the gas. Okay, what are the examples of solid waste, children? We have here solid waste. Can be easily seen. What else? You can see this brick is an example of solid waste. A lot. You see the cans, the plastics that you are using. Now we're going to have the liquid waste. Okay, liquid waste are those comes from the factories that causes water pollution. Now we're going to move on with gas. What are the gas waste? Gas waste are from factories also. Smoke from factories. What else? Smoke from your cars also. Okay, so we're going to have the amount of moisture. Okay, so we have the wet waste in the dry waste. Okay, so could you please give me an example of wet waste? Anybody? Could you please give me an example of wet waste?
Sophia,
Sophia, go on.
a banana skin.
Okay, a banana peel. Okay, and peelings of fruits and vegetables. Okay, anything that is wet, those are considered wet waste. Okay, now we're going to move on with dry waste. What are the example of dry waste? A box, a paper. What else? Plastic, cans, bottles. They are the example of dry waste. Now we're going to move on, children. We are done with the amount of moisture. We're going to classify the waste according to the effect on life in environment, how dangerous they are. So we're going to have hazardous. Hazardous means those wastes that are very dangerous. You see the sign, it means danger or risk. That's why if you see like this one, do not go in there because it is dangerous. Or do not hold that thing, or do not touch anything, children, because it is dangerous. It might cause you death, or it might give you a disease. Do you understand, children? Can you follow, teacher? Can you understand me? Can you understand? Okay. Now we're going to move on with the hazardous or those dangerous waste. Okay. Toxic and harmful. If you can see that sign, you do not use it. Okay. Inflammable, reactive. What else? And corrosive. Do not touch anything, or do not go explosive. Do not touch anything for those waste, or do not use anything. Okay, so it can be in the biomedical. It can be from the biomedical waste, from factories. and from domestic waste also, children. Now we're going to move on with non-hazardous. They are okay. No danger risk. Next. Now we're going to move on with their properties. So we have the biodegradable. It means they can use them as fertilizers for your plants. Biodegradable, okay? Or they can be decomposed and made as fertilizers. And non-biodegradable. So we have the biodegradable, we have the organic, the peelings from different vegetables and different fruits. What else, children? They can be decomposed by microbes. You see this one? They can be used as fertilizers from your plant. Now we're going to move on with non-biodegradable. Non-biodegradable means you cannot be broken down by microbes. For example, plastics, bottles, glass bottles. It will take hundreds of years, or can be millions of years before they will be decomposed, children. Can you understand me? Do you understand me, children?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, now we're going to move on. Okay, so we're going to have a recap, children. So there are kind of form of waste. They can be solid, liquid, or gas. So according to their moisture, they can be wet or dry. According to their effect in the environment, they can be hazardous or dangerous, or non-hazardous. They can be okay. Now we have the properties. We have the biodegradable and non-biodegradable. It can be organic and non-organic. Okay, now we're going to move on, children. Now we have televisions. Okay, so where does televisions classify to? What kind of waste? Okay, so televisions, anything or appliances, any appliances, electrical appliances, they are the e-waste. Okay, e-waste, electrical waste, electronic waste. Okay, children. Now we're going to move on. Now we are done with this one. We're going to have the... Okay, so what are the reasons why do we need to study waste management? Okay, so it means it's here, when left uncared, okay, like this one, it causes serious health hazard. That's why we need to have management to recycle things out of waste, children. Okay, you see this one, paper towel. It takes 2 to 4 weeks to decompose. Banana peel, it takes 3 to 4. Paper bag, 1 month. Orange peel, 6 months. My goodness. Milk carton, 5 years. The one that you are using at the school. Cigarette butts, 10 to 12 years. Not that too long, children. Next, we have rubber boat sole. We have 50 to 80 years. Plastic bag, 200 to 1,000 years. You see? They are hard to decompose, children. That's why we need to have a waste management. Now we're going to move on. Plastic bag is the longest. Okay, one more. Many aquatic animals die every year because of plastic bag litter. Why? Why? You see this one? You see? It's in his neck. It causes him death. This one, some aquatic animals might mistaken those plastic as foods, because if there is water pollution, children, the plants from the water will not going to grow, and the the aquatic animals doesn't have something to eat. So they have to survive. So they only see those waste in the water, and did not have any choice than to eat those plastics. Children. Now we're going to move on. So accidents happen sometimes. Okay. So many terrestrial animals eat plastic from dumping sites. Why? Because of cutting down of trees. Because some grass are not, they cannot see any grass to eat. Some animals go to the dumping site and eats plastics in plastic bags. It is not healthy, children, because of lack of food in the forest, or sometimes those forests are becoming villages and they doesn't have any grass to eat. So they go to the dumping site to find something to eat. Now we're going to move on. Now next we have the pollution caused by waste. Okay, where does it come from? You see, we have the air pollution. They are the air pollution. What causes air pollution, children? Smoke from the factories. Water pollution, chemicals from the factories and garbages. Soil pollution, they are the garbages, also waste. That's why we need to have a waste management. Now, can you follow, children? Can you follow? Okay. No one is answering me. Okay, now we're going to move on with another video. Just a moment, please. 20. Now we're going to have another one. There you go. Just a moment, children. I will just going. Uh-oh. No way. Okay, one more video before we're going to move on. We are done with the introduction of the waste management. Now we're going to move on with another one video. So just a moment, children. I will just going to share to my screen in just a moment, okay? Are you okay in there?
Okay.
Okay. Now we have here. We have the reduce, reuse, recycle. This is another waste management. Nah, wait. What's happening? Okay, there you go. Listen, okay?
Hello, I am the Earth. Yep, the very planet you live on. 3 words which start with the letter R, which I love. They are reduce, reuse, and recycle. Do you know why I love them so much? Because they are magical words. They can make all living things as well as myself be happier. I said that they are almost magical because without your help, it won't work. They need all of you children in order to do the trick. Each and every one of you are the real 3 R's magicians. Those 3 words which can change the world. Do you want to know how? Yes? Well, let's find out. The first R, reduce. If you think about it, there are many things you don't need. When you go to the supermarket, I'm sure there's bags instead of using disposable ones given to you. Like that, you will be reducing the amount of plastic, which is very contaminating. And I'm sure that you don't need to print out so many documents or photos, nor leave lights, television or computers on when you're not using them. If you remember this, you'll be reducing the amount of paper being used as well as energy, and in turn will be helping to reduce the contamination. And these are just a few examples. I am sure you can think of many more different ways to reduce what you are using or creating unnecessary waste. The following question will help you with this task. Do I really need this, or is this just a whim? The second R is for recycling. Now, it is easier than ever to recycle things we don't need anymore so that they can be reused. Near your home, you can find places like the recycling station and containers for cans, plastic, paper, or organic waste. They each have specific colors to make it easier to identify. By using them, you will avoid contaminating nature, the rivers and seas, as well as the atmosphere, which is the air we breathe. And finally, we have the third R, which refers to reuse. How many things do you think we can reuse again and again instead of throwing them away? Let's see. A piece of paper that has only one side printed on, a carton box, a plastic bottle. You think now. With just a little bit of imagination, I'm sure you can come up with many more exciting and fun new uses for them. And remember, if you apply the 3 R's rule, you will make me a much...
Okay, so children, we have here an example of waste management. We have the 3 R: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So we have here the reduce. Okay, for when you are buying something at the 7-Eleven, you are bringing your own bags, right? Big C, 7-Eleven, Lotus. They are letting you bring your own bag. They're not going to put the groceries on a plastic bag. So you must have to get your own bag. So this one is reducing the use of plastic bag. How many years does a plastic bag we're gonna decompose?
201,000 years.
So just a single plastic bag, children, it will take a lot of years. And I am already dead by that time. You see? So that's why. So the supermarkets now here around us, they are practicing reducing of using plastic bags. Now we have the reuse. Okay, so you can see at the school also. So the reuse, it says in here, we're going to move on. This one. Reuse is that when you are going to the market, okay, for example, this one is the reduce for the friendly. Okay, now we're going to move on for recycle. Okay, so we have here, just a moment. Wait, why is so far? Okay, so recycle. We have here, if you can see some garbages around you, okay? So it says here, you can see some signs. For example, the plastic bottle, okay? You can put it in the part of the bin where it has a label like recycling, for recycling. Or because they can use for planting plants also, for planting flowers and vegetables also. Now we're going to have recycle. Reduce, reuse. Okay, so the reuse part is that we have here. You can use some plastic bottles. Reuse in planting. What else? For the clothes, you can make some like what you are doing in your what do you call that one you are doing at the school, children? What do you call that subject, children? Constructionism. You are recycling and reusing things, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you are doing reduce, reuse, and recycle, children. Those are the waste management that you are doing right now. Okay, now we're going to move on with your live worksheet, children. I'm going to give you live worksheet now so that you can be easily done. Did you understand our lesson for today, children? Did you understand our lesson for today? Yes, that's great if you understand. Okay, so for your activity for today, this will be, ting, I already put it in our chat box, children. Just a moment, I will just going to forward it in our group inline for those who are waiting. Copy, 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 copy. There you go. Moment, please. Mm-hmm. Yes. There you go, children. This is just easy, very easy, children.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my pleasure. Sophia, what are you doing? Ang galing niya.
Finish.
Finish. Wow. So fast. Why so fast? How many points did you get?
8.
8. Okay, so just a moment, children. Take a screenshot of your scores, children. Take a screenshot of your scores and send it in our group inline. Okay, children? Send it in our group inline. I will be waiting, children. Okay, so children, I will be waiting for your activity in our group inline. Okay, so I'm going to let you go for 5 minutes before our time because we started earlier than our time. Okay, so children, see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.
Goodbye. See
Goodbye,
you
everybody. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye.
tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh.